I cannot go home until I've rebuilt this car. It's currently 7 PM and the engine is over there on the floor. That's right, the car I'm giving away to one of you guys in just a couple of days is going through some much needed maintenance, and being as this still currently is my daily, I cannot leave until it is done, because I have no other way of getting home. And you might be wondering, why does it need any maintenance? You've just driven it into the workshop. Back in June, I started the rebuild on this BMW E23 that had been sat in a garage for nearly 30 years. Now this needed a full mechanical overhaul, a new engine, and generally just bringing it back to life. I then decided the best thing to do would be to take it on a road trip, not a couple of hours after it's been finished, and its first test drive would be to Germany. Now the car was finished not 24 hours before I was boarding a ferry to go into Europe, and the trip was going really well. I was breezing down the autobahn, trouble-free, and then the head gasket went and left me stranded in the middle of Germany. And then I did what I think most people would have done when they're stranded in another country with no way to get home. I turned to the last resort. Now that product from Sonax has my vote. After chucking it in Germany, I drove it all the way home and I've done over 8,000 miles ever since that point, and I've not had a single head gasket problem ever since. What a fantastic product. Considering I'm giving this car away to one of you guys next week, I can't let it go knowing that it's going to be a ticking time bomb. So we are going to be swapping the entire engine. Not only that, we have a ton of work that we need to do because there's more than just an engine to change. While the engine is still currently working as it should, the gearbox that we had to a million pieces is now started to slip. So we're going to be changing that too. Now, because we was on a massive time crunch, at the time we fitted this car with a fuel cell because we couldn't find the fuel tank for an E23. Thankfully for us, we found a BMW donor car which had a fuel tank. So we're going to be swapping that in too. As well as this radiator, the blower motor, the thermostat, radiator hoses, boot carpet. There's a lot to do, so let's crack on. Now, while it may seem like I'm quite prepared with all the parts, I decided to do this just yesterday. And it could still go wrong, and this is my only mode of transport at the moment. Come Monday, I'll have a new daily. However, right now it is 12:09, and I'm about to take the engine out of the daily. And you might be thinking, why'd you leave things till last minute? That is me entirely. Everything is last minute, so let's carry on. Now, while there's nothing wrong with this radiator, all this viscous because it's brand new, this radiator doesn't belong to this car. This actually belongs to my E24, and that is exactly where it needs to go, which is why we're putting the alley rad in, because the donor car came with the alley rad and it's going to go nicely in here. Uh-oh. I'm in deep now. No going back. Fun fact, that rotten branch over there holding the bonnet up is actually from the middle of Germany, and I've been using it ever since. Right, I think that is everything from the top of this engine. The only thing we've got to do now is remove all the prop shaft, steering box, coupling, all of this, because I'm going to be taking the engine and gearbox out at the same time. Leave that one connected over there, just so I don't have to mess about with any of the torque converter or anything like that. Well, they're together anyway, so I might as well leave them together. So if I can get it to a point where I can put it on some axle stands, lift the car up and the engine stays where it is, that would make my life a lot easier. But hopefully we can do that without completely removing the exhaust, because I reckon it might be in the way. Anyway, let's carry on. As you can see, I drive this thing through a building site absolutely every single day at the minute. Now, I am going to raise this car ever so slightly. Now, our necks and tyres occasionally rub on the arch. It's not the tyre's fault. Thank you to Nexon. They have provided us with a set of Enfera tyres when this went together, and they've also recently supplied us with another two, just because my one were getting a little low and I've not done the tracking on it yet, which I will do. However, after it was set, it settled after we went to Germany and stuff, so I'm going to raise it a smidge, because when you go into a driveway, every now and then you will touch the arch. I want to just eliminate that, just so whoever wins it doesn't end up ruining the arch. And once again, thank you to Nexon for supplying the Enfera tyres on the E23. I really appreciate it. Oh. Exhaust is off. Good job, I found out there's got a massive amount of holes in it. Look at this. It's blown a hole out here, 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 here. It's mad. Anyway, that's out of the way. Right, it's about 3:30. I had a little bit of a lunch break and organising some stuff and whatnot, so I've not been on it, so we're going to be here till late. This thing just fighting me. Just the easiest things are just like playing annoyance. Like these fittings for the gearbox, they go onto the bottom of the gearbox on here. Just like, they're supposed to spin freely, but they're just like seized on there for some reason. Don't know why. Really pain in the ass, but it is what it is. Car's literally about to come down. I'm gonna put it on this little dolly here. Hopefully, all goes smoothly and everything just comes out and I've not forgotten anything. Nice. Can I go home now? No. Now, all I've simply got to do is remove this off of here and then put that on there and then line it back up. Simply, very simply. And remove all the wiring loom and transfer it over to that one, potentially. I'm not quite sure, it might not be worth me changing it over. I'll have a look. Sometimes they have a couple of differences, but we will see. Yeah. Oh look, more fluid on the floor. My favourite. What's that? Yeah.
It's got the engine out.
Yeah, that's it. Time is 5:44 p.m. Been dragging my heels a bit. I've had a look over the engine, changed a few things over. I was going to change the entire loom because it's not exactly identical, but I think it should plug in and it should work to the original ECU in the car. The original ECU that came with this engine, I may have accidentally cut through it with a rip saw. So I'm not quite sure if it's going to work anymore or not. It's only just hit the corner. And you might be thinking, how did you manage to do that? And it's because I cut the entire car lengthways. And we're going to put it on a wall at some point. But yeah, if I have stitched myself up and this doesn't work, it should work if I change the loom and make it all work properly. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Engine is about to go in. Fingers crossed. Now, before I put the engine, there's actually one thing I need to do now before we get too involved, and it is this thing right here. So this here is an accumulator, and you might be thinking, what on earth is that for? It's a very odd, complicated system, but it's for brake boosting. So on a normal car, you'd get a traditional inlet to your brake booster, and it would pick up off the inlet manifold, and it would draw air, and it would basically make your brakes easier to press. This is a hydraulic operated system. So there's an accumulator. So inside of here, there is gas, and then the inside of that is just fluid pushing against the gas. And that is driven off the hydraulic, like power steering pump that goes up into here, all this wizardry, and goes in there. And this is what helps your brakes feel nice. However, my one, I think has gone bad because it's like it's got no brake boosting whatsoever. When you slam on the brakes, it's like having no brake booster, and it's all to do with this little accumulator here apparently, but luckily our donor car has one, so hopefully I can yank this off, put it in, and that fixes our problem. But if I didn't do it now, I can't really get to it because you need to get underneath it, and the engine is here. Here's our new, they call this the brake bomb in America. Did some digging why it wasn't working, but It's quite simple, it just twists on from the bottom of this regulator, you'd call it, not sure. This is apparently no good. Bang the new one straight back on, and hopefully that fixes our problem. If not, I'm not quite sure what the problem is with the brakes, because they're really, really hard. Now we can put the engine in. It's a good job I spent all weekend putting up another ramp in the workshop. That is going to improve my productivity very much. Yes. I am now going to spend ages buttoning it all up, doing all the little clips and bobs and stuff, because it's a lot more easier to take it out than it is to put it back in. Hopefully, all is good. We already know the engine runs, so we shouldn't have a problem. As long as that ECU works with that loom and ancillaries, which it should do, it should be all right. Time is currently 6 o'clock. Be all right. Half 7, just dawdling at this point. There's some other stuff going on at the same time, so things are taking a little longer, and I've just realised that previous Josh forgot to let, future Josh know about this. Snapped exhaust stud. Oh, why didn't I find that before I put the engine in? That would have been so much easier to do. Well, I'll see what I can do. It feels like a million years later. It's now just gone 8 o'clock, and we can officially bolt the exhaust on. Drilled it out, nut and bolted it. I haven't got any welding wire at the minute, so I can't even weld a nut and pull the stud out. So I had to do it the long-winded way, but it's better than going home with an open manifold at like 3 o'clock in the morning, because at this rate, this is what time I'm gonna be getting home. Now to put the exhaust on, which is rotten, but luckily our donor car came with another one. Ta-da! We have an old but reproduction back box. It's not genuine, but it's got a whole lot less holes than this thing. I mean, this is literally like Swiss cheese. All of the rust holes are like paper. So I'll swap them over. Hopefully I can get these apart without too much issue, because I am pretty certain it's gonna put up a fight, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. That was on there. That's probably never been off. In the bin now. Look at it. Crisp packet. I'm gonna cut that one off, make my life easier. Oh, nothing's ever simple, is it? This would be great if I had 2 hands. It's really not easy to maneuver this thing. You know, when I dropped it earlier, it's probably gonna happen again, let's be honest. Time is currently 11:15. I have been fighting this car. The whole rear exhaust section has been an absolute nightmare, but it's on. Cut all these down, make everything fit, sort this bracket out because that was snapped, find a new bracket, make sure I could do all this without having to damage anything and pull out the welder because I don't have any welding wire. And then I felt like I was gonna fall over, so I had something to eat and then scrolled on TikTok for 40 minutes, and now it's 11:15 and we've still not plumbed any of the front of the engine, so to speak. So I still can't go home yet. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this should be okay. It should be, but you never know with this car. Oh, so time 1:20. Everything is pretty much bottomed up. The only thing I've got to do is put the grommet in on the wire and loom to the bulkhead, fill up with fluids, hopefully nothing comes out the bottom, and we can start it up. I'm just putting water in it for now. I do have coolant, but I just will obviously make sure it's not going to be throwing its guts out on the floor before I go ahead and put the coolant in it, because coolant is actually quite expensive. Let's go for a first start. Look at that, beautiful, fantastic. It's running sweet as. That's a good engine. That is a good engine. It might look a little ropier, but the best engines are the ones that look like they come from the bottom of the sea. I promise you that. I've pulled some terrible engines out of nowhere and they've been absolutely sweet. What I'm going to do is let it get up to temperature, make sure it's all holding temperature, nothing's overheating, everything's going smoothly, nothing's leaking, and then I'll probably drain it, put some coolant in it, and then actually do it properly with some actual coolant. You know when I said I was going to change the thermostat in the start of the video? I'm going to do that now, because the one that's in it is no good. Ugh. And it's currently 3:03. We are no further on, and it's only got worse. Now, obviously this engine had a bunch of cooling upgrades. So it had new hoses, thermostat, big radiator, also had a new water pump, etc, etc. And I knew it had a thermostat in there because it had these bolts in there. Now, the thread of these bolts were covered in silicone, which I thought, that's whatever, they've sealed the surface to get it in. I was like, that's whatever. It was only when I put these back in to the thermostat housing, just here, I realised all of the threads within the thermostat housing are dead. And there's nothing left of the threads, which is why they were basically glued in. Now, the thermostat housing is leaking. It needs like a full strip down to get to the bit I need to do. Furthermore, I can't get it to bleed up at all. And to be honest, I am absolutely knackered. I just can't be bothered anymore. It's just one of them things. I don't know how I'm going to get home, but I'm sure I can figure something out. It's currently 3:30 in the morning. The car's been idling for like 20 odd minutes, absolutely fine. It just took a lot of effort. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort to get all the air out of these BMW cooling systems, because they've had all the new radiator and all the thermostat and everything, etc. It's been a bit of a nightmare. So from here, I know it's working, but I've got to change the thermostat tomorrow. But for now, I want to go home. So I'm going to try and get this thing steering and back on the floor and disappear. Oh, I'm knackered. While it may seem like I've not completed the challenge that I have set out for, I would really like to go to bed. And I have done kinda what I set out to do. And I will finish it tomorrow. But I need to go to bed. And now I can actually drive it home. Yes, it has a minor coolant leak, but it's bled up and everything should be working. And tomorrow, we'll fit the fuel tank, we'll fit the blower motor, we'll fit in the new thermostat. We'll get all those things done. And then we'll give it a good wash, because that's what it deserves. Also, I'm going to put the new tyres on tomorrow, Gonna do it. This car is gonna go to a very good home. Oh yes. Oh yes. "3:52 a.m. See you in the morning where we actually finish this car." Next day. Okay, so next day. It's about 2 o'clock now. Last night, the test drive went okay. Everything was going smoothly until I ran out of fuel. So I ran out of fuel, and it was about 4:30 in the morning. It was a whole ordeal just to get home. Thankfully, I did get home in the end. Got it all sorted out, but man, what a nightmare. Tired now. Drove all right. The only thing I need to obviously sort out, like I said before, is that thermostat housing. I'm going to take it all off of their other engine, because obviously that one's works. It is what it is. Someone's chewed up the threads and they thought they'd get away with it with some silicone. It's weird, as car people, you end up putting up with annoying things on your car right up until you sell it, and then you fix it, and then someone else has it. Is what it is. It's going to be a good car. Okay, so I have found the reason why we're struggling with getting this engine to bleed up. Now, all the coolant hoses I left on there. I just left them on there because they all look good. They're not cracked or anything. I just left it. I thought that's fine. And it took a while for it to bleed up. Took 3 attempts and it was okay. I can see why. Look at this. The bottom of the thermostat is completely blocked off, as is the radiator hose. Ah, wow. Good job with pulling this out. I thought I had a lack of pressure. I was like, what's going on here? Seems a bit weird. Can see why now. Ooh. Right, after that small inconvenience, all flushed out, everything's cleaned out, ready to finally, hopefully, bleed it for the very last time. I should put it in park, shouldn't I? Wipers. Nice. Also, Charlie's here, prepping his car. Now, some of you may or may not know that last week, me and Charlie went on a massive road trip to Scotland in the Space Wagon and the Proton. And not gonna lie, I put so much effort into editing it. We put so much effort into making it happen, because Charlie was big push in making it all happen realistically behind the scenes. And I think personally, it is one of the best bits of content I've ever produced in my life. It's like up there. Whereas this one's quite raw video. The one we uploaded last week, which not a lot of people watched, went down a little bit. That was my best video, and the feedback from it was unbelievable. It was an amazing trip, absolutely amazing trip. So if you haven't seen it, I'll link it in the description. Go and watch that video. That was incredible. Anyway, more on this. So far, so good. It's bleeding up quite nicely. Amateur hour from me, because probably should have checked that before I put it all back together. But you assume that it's not going to be blocked. I think that's the first blockage of any coolant system I've ever had. So, yeah, I just assumed it wouldn't be blocked, but it is. First time for everything. I hope whoever wins this car really enjoys it. The Sierra that we gave away, I don't know where that's gone, disappeared off the face of the earth. The E23, it got modified a bit more, put a different set of wheels in it, and I've seen it a couple of times, and that's pretty cool. I'd like to be able to see this out and about again, being used like I have done the 34. The Sierra, I don't know where it's gone. Can't remember. It went up north somewhere and it went in a garage. If you haven't seen that video, that is the most popular video on the channel. It was actually a true incredible barn find, literally like less than a mile away from the workshop. And we had to rip the barn down to get the thing out. It was unbelievable. Really, really cool. This car, I wish I was the one that pulled it out of the garage, but luckily the guys over at ATB Cars got it out when they could, because now we have this whole story with this car. If I could find a barn find like that every week, my life would be sorted, but they don't come easy. We have success. Look at that. That is literally where it sits for like half an hour. All good. Finally, we can continue. First up being the blower motor, and because it's completely boring to see me change the blower motor, we'll do a bit of YouTube magic. Yes! Anyway, I can't wait to get rid of this fuel cell. This fuel tank is laughing.
I'm working over it.
I know, you're working. Get back to work. Anyway, no one wants to see me take a tank out. This is going in. This is coming out. 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. Fully carpeted boot. Don't look underneath, it is saturated with old dirty fuel. That is dry, but it does smell a little bit, but it's okay. Because we have, that's the bumper, a fuel tank and a fuel cap with the rubber around it. It is old and cracked, but it is all right. We're gonna have a fuel gauge, hopefully. Actual fuel, don't have to open my boot at every single petrol station. What's the time, Charlie?
I don't know my phone, but I think it's around 11.
11:41.
Oh, it's like 12.
We are about to leave, which means putting the fuel in this, and hopefully it starts and runs and everything goes well. We have a funny looking fuel can for this.
Ah, yes.
Oh, don't do that. Yeah, it's quite heavy. Hang on, let's get a Jubilee clip up.
Oh, that's funny.
I ain't gonna fall in, it's on there. Ready?
Yeah.
You've got it all.
Yeah, I know, because all the fluid's over this side.
Look at that. I won't be running out of fuel tonight.
You actually have a fuel gauge.
I should have a gauge
Yeah, that's crazy.
for the first time. Let me see if this is leaking. Don't drop it on my head.
I almost did.
Yeah! Let's see if we got some fuel. It says diesel, but it's not a diesel. Yes! It does work.
Oh, that's diesel.
Look at that. There is a clamp underneath, so I need to undo that and then we should start it. Look at that. £10 car, mate.
I want it.
You can't have it. Woo! Should we open the door before we die? Charlie's going to do a drift day tomorrow. We've just been prepping this at the same time as prepping this. Good morning. I was going to wash the car last night, but I was really, really tired, naturally. And I've been driving the car. Drives absolutely amazing. It is night and day. I filled the tank. I got fuel gauge. The temp gauge is under the middle all the time. I'm gonna have heaters. I have no fuel smell in the cabin. I can have full beam because I fixed that last night as well because I've not had full beam for like 2 or 3 months. It's transformed the car. This is what I should have done 2 or 3 months ago. Silly, really. Anyway, I'm gonna go wash this car because it is filthy and I need to tell you about this giveaway on the car.
The dream came true.
finished E23. It's got a full tank, it's been washed, it's working perfectly, and whoever wins it next week is going to be driving home trouble-free and hopefully very, very happy. Now, on that note, just want to say thank you for watching the video. If you're interested in winning this car, obviously we're giving this car away for one of you. £10 a ticket. You can go on my website, gresswells.com. You just buy a digital print or a sticker pack and you can be entered into winning this car. Now, the giveaway ends on Tuesday. From this video until Tuesday, I'm doing double entries. So everything that you purchase will instantly get you 2 times the amount of entries, and you don't have to do anything, you don't have to put any codes in. You just get 2 times the amount of entries. That's just for the YouTube people that are watching this video right now. So if you've made it this far, you've entered yourself into 2 times entries. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Everyone that's got involved, I really appreciate it. These sort of giveaways, you see everyone doing them and people are throwing cars out left, right, centre. However, for me, they do keep this channel ticking along and lets me get back into something else and do some more videos, etc, etc. So appreciate everyone that has got involved, especially the people that bought the stickers and the merchandise as well. I've had a lot of emails about that in the last couple of days, or weeks should I say. Where's my order, where's my order, where's my order? I've always done it as a pre-order thing, so I don't do merch often, and I usually do it as a pre-order so I don't over-order or under-order, and I just do it to the end of the giveaway so I can get some numbers and then your order gets processed. I think next time I do this, I'll probably just order a set amount and then first come, first serve basis basically, because I want people to get their stuff more often. But this week, your orders are being processed, everything, sticker packs, etc. You will get them soon. I appreciate everyone that has messaged me and asked me about it. It did say in the description it was a pre-order only. Obviously, people don't read anything ever. But yeah, that's all I've got to say really. I've got less than 5 hours to get this video edited and uploaded by tonight. So I've got to go. I've got a lot to do. But yeah, gresswells.com. Double entries until the end, which is Tuesday the 28th of October, 7 PM. 8 PM, I will be live on the Gresswells Instagram, and I will be live streaming and picking the winner. Hopefully you can join me, and hopefully you win the car as well. £10 a ticket, gresswells.com, double entries till Tuesday. Thank you very much. Goodbye. I could really go to bed, but I've got to edit this video. Anyway, bye-bye.